In 2008, political analyst Moeletsi Mbeki said Zimbabwean President Robert Mugabe had no intention of holding free and fair elections. By many accounts, the 2008 elections in Zimbabwe were neither free nor fair, yet Mugabe managed to cling on to power. What happens now? My guest to analyze the Zimbabwe elections is well-known author and political analyst Moeletsi Mbeki. Mr. Mbeki, lovely to have you here. Robert Mugabe is 89 years old. I feel like he'll be tottering into that voting booth, putting his cross there, and I don't know. What's next for Zimbabwe after this election?
Well, we all hope that the election will be free and fair and that there will be no violence as there has been during the past elections, that there will be no rigging of the elections.
Well, the AU says that, and SADC says, no, it looks peaceful. Do you buy that stuff?
No, I don't buy the story. As you know, the chairman of the AU Commission was our former foreign minister, who was one of the founders or the architects of the global political agreement, which gave all the power to Robert Mugabe.
What are you saying here? Are you saying, because you're absolutely right, it's Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, or I see Olusegun Obasanjo is in there, and are they bigging themselves up? Go on, we're gonna have the solution we want.
Well, Obasanjo only arrived on Saturday. It takes a very long time to prepare to rig an elections. So you have to be there, you have to be in place for much longer than he has been. So I don't have much faith either in SADC or in the African Union to ensure that the election is fair and fair. Anyway, Mugabe has already said that if SADC doesn't dance to his tune, he's going to leave SADC.
That's a scary thing. I mean, when I look back the past few weeks with Mugabe saying that street woman, meaning the envoy, South Africa's envoy, President Zuma's envoy, Lindiwe Zulu, it does seem as if he's actually calling the shots.
Well, Mugabe is calling the shots because, you see, the South African government has been dancing since 2000. And we have a report, for example, by two prominent judges, South African judges, where they went to evaluate the election. They were sent by the South African government to evaluate the 2002 election. The South African government is hiding this report.
Well, the former president has refused to release it. This president is refusing to release it.
Exactly. Why are they refusing? Because they know how elections are rigged in Zimbabwe. They know exactly what happened in 2002 and what is being
Moeletsi Mbeki, draw me a line here. Are you telling me that from what we have learned with the past elections, 2008, 2002, to today, you're not very confident that this election is going to be free or fair?
Well, the election process in Zimbabwe is completely controlled by ZANU-PF alone. That is how that process is being run. There's a lot of window dressing here, window dressing there, but ZANU-PF government controls the whole process. It's their civil service that is overseeing. But
I'll challenge you and say, in that 2008 election, MDC won 47%, Mugabe came in at 43%.
Yeah, but the critical position in Zimbabwe is not parliament. The critical position is the presidency. The president can overrule parliament in Zimbabwe. So it's who controls the presidency. That's why they were quite happy to see MDC win the parliamentary election as long as they don't win the presidency.
What, we 48 hours away from this thing. What should happen to to give it a semblance of a modicum of respectability? Is there anything that can be done? What should the good people of the world, of SADC, of the AU be saying?
But Justice, you heard the two gentlemen, the ZANU-PF representative here, admitting that the voters' roll will be distributed at the polling station. Now, how do you verify the names of the people who are on the voters' roll if you only see it at the polling station? And by the way, the location of the polling stations have not yet been announced either. So how are the observers going to observe an election? They have no voters' roll. They don't know where the polling stations are. And how are they going to observe
You're
this
making
election?
me feel very depressed about this, because my leaders in the AU and SADC have been saying, no. President Zuma has come out and said, no, it looks to me it's going to be interestingly, it's going to be peaceful, but is it going to be free and fair?
Well, it can be peaceful. That much I can agree. But you know, ZANU-PF are great technicians. I think they have got some techniques which they have worked very hard on
Tell me about Morgan Tsvangirai. He's been a member of this GNU. He's had a good run as Prime Minister. Tendai Biti has had a okay run as the Finance Minister, other officials and so forth. Has he been outmaneuvered here by Mugabe, by the forces that I play there?
Well, he was maneuvered from the word go with the global political agreement. The global political agreement left Mugabe with all the power. For example, Mugabe could declare war without talking to the Prime Minister.
Well, he definitely declared these elections without talking to him.
Exactly. He just sent his men to talk to the...
Strategically, how does a party that's got the skills of an MDC allow itself to be in such a poisoned marriage?
Well, I think to be fair to MDC and to be fair to Morgan Tsvangirai, we, the South Africans and the South African government, really have been so conniving against MDC and against Morgan Tsvangirai. Our government has been conniving with Mugabe. SADC has been conniving with Mugabe. Remember, Mugabe said, we don't like the SADC tribunal. SADC said, okay, cancel it. you know, so he has had the cards stacked against him.
We've run out of time. 5 seconds. Tell me, what happens after July 31 to this country?
After July 31, my guess is we'll be exactly where we are today. Morgan will probably win the parliamentary election. Mugabe, by hook or by crook, will still be president. And they will be forced back into a government of national unity by SADC.
Moeletsi Mbeki, always a pleasure to have you here. After the break, our winner and loser of the week. Stay with us.